So, dude, let's just start out with like your background. Give us a background on like personal, professional, what you did before this, how long you've been doing this. Just give
Okay.
us some details on how you got started and what it looks like now.
All right. So my brother and I, as you know, we're both we were adopted from Ukraine and um, came over here when we were two. Um,
Dude, I did not know that.
oh really?
Yeah, I thought you were
Oh
from Nashville.
no.
Oh,
We
really?
Yeah, we were adopted. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wait, you being
I
serious?
I swear
Oh
I
okay.
did not know
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So we were adopted. Um, and then we went to Father Ryan High
Yep.
School. And then my brother and I both went and played at a small Division 1 up in Baltimore. It was called Coppin State University.
Baseball.
Yep, baseball. And then we transferred, went to Columbia State, played baseball, and then Andrew finished out at Tennessee Tech University, played baseball, and then I finished out at Trevecca
Gotcha.
and finished. Um, yeah.
And then did you guys? So didn't you start the business as like a part time thing in like high school or
Oh yeah, that
college?
it was just summer work.
Yeah.
So we would just summer money when we weren't playing college baseball. We would just do like driveways and do decks and just make money.
So you got into it at first just to like have a summer gig,
Yeah.
make a little bit of spending money in between seasons and stuff like that, or in
Yep.
between years at school.
Yep.
And then what? You just got good at it. Had a couple customers, and then you were like, okay, maybe we could turn this into our full time gig, or how did that work?
Well, I got It's actually a funny story. I was wanting to get into construction. So my
Out
dad,
of college.
yeah, my
Nice.
dad is an executive over at DF Chase Construction. They're actually called uh, Chase Construction Group now. But anyways, he I interned there, and I was kind of like on the path to like being like a project engineer, project manager, and I went in his office and I was like, I want to work, I want to work for you in the company, and he's like, don't like do your own thing,
Oh,
like
nice. Your
like
dad said that.
yeah, he's like just do your own thing, and because I had gotten a master's at Trevecca, so I was like, if it fails, then I'll have
You can go get a
like
job.
I can go do anything.
Yeah.
Not anything. And then I also had a, a opportunity at HCA,
Okay.
so the health group.
Yeah.
Um, and so like I had gotten some job offers. Um, but yeah, I was just like,
So your dad was really the one that said, "Hey, don't. If you want to try
he
this,
was a
go try it
big he
now."
was a really big he was a really big influence on that decision. He yeah, he was just like, don't do it.
And he'd been working for the company for.
Since he's been working for the company for 30 years.
So he was
Since
like,
he got here, and my dad's Irish, like 100% Irish.
"Oh,
So
really?
they met in Australia.
Damn,
So
dude."
yeah.
So your dad was like, "Hey, look, if you now's the time to go try
Yep.
to start your business if you
Yep.
want to start it."
But I was also like, now I see it, I'm like, I don't think I could work for anybody.
Yeah. Well, once you get a taste of the other
I couldn't.
side, you're like, "Oh my
But
gosh."
it's also, there's two different.
There's goods and bads,
There's a lot of
pros and cons.
yeah.
Dude, we were talking about the other day. Is like sometimes because it would be nice to just work for somebody
Yep.
and then you just go home at 5.
Yep.
And
And you
say,
just clock out.
yeah, you're like, I'll see you tomorrow at 9. And then you come
Mhm.
back and you're done. But the other side of that, dude, is like, most jobs nowadays are not like that. you know, it's like I was talking to my buddy the other day who works for I guess technically they're still a startup, but they're in like their Series B and they've raised, you know, I think hundreds of millions. And he was like, dude, you know, he works 15, 16, 17, 18-hour days. So like there's a spot to where if you're working those amount of days, then it's like, why not work for yourself?
Yeah.
But if you're working an 8-hour shift and you've got, you know, the money you need to live the life you want to live, then like that's the appealing side. You're like, oh, that's some days that would be nice. Some weekends, you know, it's like vacation.
You mean all holidays? All
turn
holidays.
The phone off. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no holidays.
No, there's not.
There's nothing.
And there's like, you know, the worry is like everybody else gets paid. And then you get paid.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man, yeah. So there is pros and cons for sure. The pro is like, the way I describe it to people, especially like vets, is in the Army. If you're doing like PT or whatever, and let's say you're in a formation run, if you're in the formation, a 2-mile run seems like an eternity. But if you're leading the run, you know the route, you know how far you're going, you know when you're stopping, you control the speed. So mentally, it's so much easier. And that's the way I equate like your being a business owner, your day to day. If you're doing a 20-hour day, it's like, whatever. I know this is for this. I know when I'm going. I know where I'm going. I know when I'm stopping. But it still is a 20-hour day. It still kind of sucks, right? So it's always in the back of your mind too. It's hard to let it go.
Yeah.
So what was the transition for you guys from when you went from, you know, hey, we're gonna do this in the summer for some pocket money, to be like, all right, you know, your dad said go for it. Talk to me about like what was the next step then?
Like in a mentality.
Yeah, that situation? or like actual physical steps. What did you do after that?
Well, when I got done with, okay, so Andrew got. I mean, this is just. It's a very interesting story. So, Andrew got his undergrad in molecular cellular biology. So he was working.
And Andrew is your twin brother, partner in the business.
Yes.
Okay.
So he worked like right down the road from here, and he was a lab technician at Path Group. So he was checking like, well, at that time it was COVID, so they were doing like COVID tests, and I mean they're one of the biggest. It's like drug tests. I can't.
All sorts of lab.
Yeah,
shit.
it's just all lab stuff. So that's what he was doing before he came back actually to the company. So I was kind of like in transition to like once, you know, August hit, I wasn't going back to school.
Right.
Well, I was actually finishing my master's, but I wasn't like going back to play baseball.
Right.
So I was like continuing, like trying to get work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was really interesting that fall/winter, because I had never done that before. Because I just like checked out and then went back to school.
Right.
But now it was like a totally different game because
you were running the business.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
And so man, I was like rolling and kept
Yeah.
It felt like as a 24-year-old or 23-year-old, however old I was like, dang, I'm making all this money and I'm giving these guys, you know, X and Andrew's like, I want to come back and like work. I was like, well, give me like 2 weeks to like figure out like
what this needs to look like.
Yeah, and like with the cash and everything. And the next day he was back.
Really?
Next day.
So he's working full time in the business too now.
Oh, he's been working full time since, other than that few
couple months or whatever. So what are you guys' like specific kind of roles, and how do you
he does like all the operations.
Okay.
So he's at the job site right now and just running
crews.
Running the crews. So
nice.
let me just finish with this
Yeah.
story. So he came back, and I was mad because I was like, give me a few weeks, not a day. You know? So he came back, and I was like, all right, you'll get like 15 or 20% of the total job bill.
Yeah.
And then it just turned into like the 50-50, but that's when we were like, just taking money, and we didn't have like a business bank account.
It was a
And
lifestyle
it was just
business.
it was just like me and him split this,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
But it hurt because obviously, as you know, someone has to like fork out all the materials.
Right. So if you're
And-
splitting 50-50 and then you're buying
Yeah,
materials.
right. And their cash flow is just
Yeah.
screwed up.
Probably buy materials, then split the profit 50-50. Yeah.
But that's what we were.
Yeah.
It was just a learning curve. So we were pretty busy, I guess, but that winter, as you know, like people aren't calling
Right.
to do anything in the winter, pressure washing wise. That was a hard winter, Yeah, it was. I can't remember if it was that winter or it was the next winter that we like were like, dang, we might need to go get jobs.
Yeah.
And I think we were down to like, I don't even know. It was low, like $3,000
Yeah.
or something like that
Yeah.
in the business account. And Andrew couldn't even pay rent. So we together were like, we'll give you like $800, and now we only had like $2,200 in the business bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, yeah, that was a terrible winter.
Yeah. How do you deal with the seasonality now? Because it sounds like y'all figured the winters out a little bit. What did you do differently that made that winter so poor and like this winter a little bit better?
This winter was kind of the same scenario, not in the fact of it was that bad, but I don't know, once you get your name out a little more, people are just gonna call. It's still tough. I mean,
Do you guys do any snow removal, or do you do any?
So we did that 1 week of snow removal.
When it was really bad snow.
And it was so profitable. I think we made like that week like $14,000, $15,000.
So that probably gets you through a lot of the winter months that are particularly slow in the
Oh,
pressure
yeah.
washing.
No, so that is huge for us.
Yeah.
We did like over 15 jobs that whole week.
Nice. Did you have like pre-positioned contracts in place, or was that just?
Well, those were clients.
So you had clients calling you saying, "Hey, do you do snow removal?"
Yeah.
Nice.
And then people were calling after that because I think we were supposed to get another snow.
Yeah.
But it never happened.
So, so that must have been nice. Have you thought about like, it seems like in Nashville we get pretty decent snow every year, every other year.
Yeah.
Is there any like commercial contract opportunities for some big snow removal stuff?
Yeah, like Trevecca, Sherwin-Williams, some others. I can't remember. We did work over at Father Ryan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Dollar General.
Yep, Dollar General. So we have I just couldn't go do that because we didn't have a Bobcat.
Yeah.
So now next year I'm gonna rent a Bobcat when I know that we're gonna get it, and we're gonna just go over the whole campus with a Bobcat, and then the boys are just gonna hit it with snow after. It's so easy. Literally salt.
Yeah.
It's literally the easiest thing. It's literally the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, you're just literally you clear it out. To
you
the
clear
side,
it, and then
salt it.
you salt it, and then you're out. And
Well,
you
it's
can
also
make
so
a
needed.
killing.
It's needed.
Yeah,
too.
they don't, and and it's liability.
Yeah, it's a parking lot that they're not gonna go out there and shovel.
Yeah.
Especially with how much snow we got this year.
Yeah.
Where it was like a foot. You know, that's definitely needed.
It's literally the easiest thing I've ever done. I love it.
That's cool. It's almost like every time you get a commercial pressure washing job, the conversation should be, hey, this is our contract. It also comes with 20% off of our snow removal or whatever this winter.
Yeah.
Give us a call. That's cool. So talk to me about your team. If a customer hires you guys, who are they going to deal with? What are they going to see? What are they going to expect? Just kind of talk through some of that stuff.
So when a client reaches out, they'll be directed, if it goes through one of the team members or if it goes to, or if they call me directly, I will come out as long as it's in a radius where I can make it out.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll meet, we'll go over the project, and I'll measure their property out, whether that's the driveway, the house, the deck, whatever it might be, and I'll give them an official proposal. They'll sign a terms and considerations, and then we'll move forward. Then they can always contact me.
Yeah.
But they'll be directed towards Andrew during the job, or Joey, or whoever's supervising the project.
So you do a lot of the front end stuff, a lot of the sales, a lot of the contracts.
Yep.
Once that's done, then day of, Andrew's kind of the day of operations guy.
Yep.
Cool. You guys are twins, so they won't even know the difference.
Yep. They won't.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but the good part there is he's also a part owner of the business.
Mm-hmm.
So the customers in my mind are still dealing with somebody who has skin in the game, who
Yeah.
cares about the product, who cares about the outcome. I think that's a huge differentiator for you guys.
Yep.
I would imagine. It's going to be hard to find that in other pressure washing companies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone cares. I mean, we literally get, these guys are so respectful. These guys don't do anything they're not supposed to do. I mean, we've gone through so many people to get to where we are now.
Yeah.
And what I need to look for when I'm hiring, and it's gone a lot better.
Nice.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, that's awesome. So you've got Andrew on ops. You got a couple of kind of technicians or guys that do some of the work.
So right now I don't even put myself in there.
Yeah.
Andrew's he's the president of the company, and so he'll direct the operations, but then we have a team leader actually managing the guys. So whether that be Andrew or another team leader, and then 1 to 3 other guys
Depending on the size of the project.
actually doing the work.
Gotcha. Nice.
And everyone has been trained. Everyone, even if there's a hiccup,
Can handle it.
Can handle it.
What's so let's go through some services. So like driveway power washing. What can a customer expect as far as time? Obviously, the size of the driveway, determines that. But if somebody says, "Man, I really want my driveway power washed," what can they plan for?
So if so 1,000 to 8,000 square feet of pressure washing can be accomplished in one day.
So even the larger driveways as well.
Oh yeah, you can get all that done in a day.
So that's like 90%.
Weather permitting.
Right. 90% of people can have their driveway power.
Absolutely.
In one day.
So the timeline would be, so the services are pressure washing driveways. We're doing sealing, so we do aggregate, brushed concrete, and asphalt resurfacing. If there's cracks in the driveway, we fill in the cracks. Small concrete work, very small. But if someone has a huge, pothole or crack in the slabs of their aggregate, we can actually pour the concrete and put pea gravel and disguise most of the cracks.
Oh, cool.
And fill it in.
You guys do deck staining too?
Decks, so pressure wash decks, deck replacement. Really most. We don't do structural, but we have put 4x4s in to reinforce more of the deck actually.
Yeah.
Pour the concrete.
What about power washing houses? Do you guys do that?
Yep.
Exterior
So
houses?
yeah, pressure wash houses. Yeah, gutters, gutter cleaning. Sometimes that we need a boom lift for the safety of the guys.
Yep.
And then we do snow removal, residential and commercial.
So you got power washing, both driveway, decks, structural, so it's including the house. You got staining and sealing the driveways and decks, gutter cleaning. Am I missing
House
anything?
wash,
House wash.
snow salting.
And then snow and salting,
Yep.
right? So, what's your advice to the homeowner when it comes to like how often you should do this stuff? What are the most important aspects of keeping the exterior of your house clean, the gutters, driveway, all that stuff?
Driveways, if you want it pressure washed every year or every 2 years, that should be fine. Cracks are inevitable, and we should get to those as quick as possible because they're just going to keep expanding.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have, another alley that they're going to go to, and it's
It can make the problem worse.
yeah, it can make it a lot worse. Sealing is good for the integrity the integrity of the aggregate, just to keep all the pea gravel like together, and to have a nice layered base of like sealant on your driveway. It's not needed. It just helps it.
Right.
And then we have, aesthetically pleasing sealant that, the shiny gloss. We've got a lower gloss. We've got water-based. We've got, we can get anything.
So it sounds like if I was a homeowner that, was proactive on this, I would need you in the fall for gutter cleanings.
Yeah.
I'd need you once every year or two for power washing the driveway, and then possibly the house, depending on kind of what that looks
How
like.
much vegetation's around.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. And then deck staining once every couple of years.
With our product, you don't need to do it because we get the 10-year.
Ah, okay. Nice.
So you pay obviously a premium up front with us, but you don't have to do it for 5 to 7 years.
Right.
Because we do it right.
Yep. Nice.
And we have clients that have actually just started coming back, being like, "Can we redo it?" I was like, "Yeah."
Nice. What would you say is like y'all's big differentiator compared to maybe one of the big franchises or something like that when you're talking to customers or if customers are trying to decide between you and a competitor, what's the big thing that comes to mind is why they should choose you guys?
So, several different reasons. We will always price everything correctly to where you're not going to have to do it again. You can always get someone cheaper.
Yeah.
Always get someone less money than us. But with us, you get timeliness. We're always on time. We're always there when we say we're going to be there. You're going to get respectful people. So people are always going to have uniforms on. There's a lot of people in our industry that come out with short sleeve cut off, taking smoke breaks, might even be doing some other stuff that they probably shouldn't be on the job. our guys, they don't do that.
Sounds like professionalism and, like some integrity and following through with your word is what kind of sets you guys apart.
Absolutely.
That's super important in like these industries where that's kind of what our mission is for my home is, I think for too long the blue collar home service industry has gotten bad reps. There's some bad actors out there, so the reputation's probably earned. But I think more now than ever, what we're trying to prove and what we're doing, and with our vendors, and our platform is these industries are changing, right? And you see that with who the owners of these businesses are. It's not the plumber with his ass crack hanging out, right? You have a masters, right? It's like it's these people that could go get good paying jobs elsewhere, but instead we go, you know what? We're gonna try to make a difference in this in X industry, whatever industry you choose, because of the things you're saying. It's like we can do these little things right, and right now no one else is doing that, right? We can show up on time, we can be in uniform, we can be respectful, we can talk to our customers, we can care about the end of the job, right? And I think that's what's really unique about home services right now. Is it's those types of people are the ones that are doing the work in your homes now, and I think that just needs to be put out there. It's like so many people have had such bad experiences with contractors in the past, and like what we're trying to showcase is exactly that. So that's a great point, dude, and I think it's truly a differentiator because there's a lot of people that don't have that.
Right, and I mean, I could say all of this and I could, be fibbing or whatever. But if you go look at our Google reviews, it's right now, it's May 10th, 2024. We have 68 5-star reviews. There's no 4-star. There's no 3-star.
Yep.
I mean, it's speaking for itself.
Yep.
You can go on Nextdoor, look up O'Dwyer Brothers LLC or O'Dwyer Pressure Washing. You're not going to see a negative review on there. You could go on Facebook, anywhere,
and everybody's saying the same thing.
and it's all the same thing. And I'm not, I'm not advocating for. I am advocating for people to go on there and leave reviews.
But it's only after they do the work.
But it's their decision
it's
to
their
do
word. Yeah, exactly.
I'm on there.
Yeah,
typing it out. So.
That's exactly right, dude. And like you're saying, actions speak louder than words there. And people are willing to go in there and leave a review. It says a lot because that's how a lot of people are making decisions nowadays through referrals.
Absolutely,
which is like
it's all Google.
Yeah, and more importantly, it's referrals through like Facebook groups and things like that. And that's what we're trying to really nail is how do you digitize the referral process through a platform, right? Because people, if you see how people make decisions right now, especially when they're talking about home services. They would rather trust a stranger's referral on Facebook or Nextdoor than pick the first company that pops up on Google.
Absolutely.
So it's like if we can accomplish that with inside of my home by ensuring that our users understand and know that we have the highest quality vendors that not only perform great work but also care about their customers tremendously, care about their jobs tremendously, care about the outcome, care about the homeowners. Then it's a win-win-win for our entire ecosystem, right? You win because you get the business. My home wins because we have another great contractor and a satisfied user, and the homeowner gets great business at fair prices and gets treated the way they should be treated. And that's like what our goal is to try to really change that part of this industry. And that you've seen it just like I have. You've seen the bad actors in this. It's devastating sometimes. Anything else you want to mention about? Yeah. Anything else you want to mention about your business, particularly about why, if you're thinking from the customer side, about why they should choose you. Otherwise, the other part of this is I like to get into talking more about business and thinking about in the future if we try to turn this into anything other than just content. I want to address future business owners or current business owners, and have like more of that conversation as well. So is there anything else specifically you would like us to know or your future customers to know about your business, why you're different, why you should be chosen, all that stuff? We hit a lot of it, but I just want to give you another opportunity.
It's not even just homeowners. You know, if you go on our website, the first video that's on there is of Gaylord Opryland.
Yeah.
So, you know, this isn't a fluke. This isn't, this is a lot of hard years and a lot of hard months and a lot of hard days that have been put into this. And it's Gaylord Opryland, it's Father Ryan High School, it's Montgomery Bell Academy. You know, it's big contractors. So DF Chase does probably $500 million a year. We're on their sites. Hardaway probably does, hundreds of millions. I don't know exact numbers on them. They trust us on their sites. I'm gonna forget about Green Hills Mall.
Yep.
The reputation speaking for itself, and the guys are the ones who do it all.
Yeah.
I'm just facilitating. They need to get as much acknowledgement out of this than I do, and Andrew does a great job with the guys. You know, I will say everything I said about our, we're timely, we're this and that, but I think what really sets us apart is our culture. Honestly, I think when I'm thinking about it, our culture that Andrew and I have just implemented in the guys is our biggest strength, and people trust us.
Yeah. And
it's our culture and it's our trust factor that wins us a lot of these jobs.
That's great.
I honestly think that's our.
I would say I agree with that.
Yeah.
You are all those other things, but I think that's truly a differentiator there.
Yeah.
You come across as that way too. You and Andrew, it's just like, you can meet certain people and you get a certain vibe from them. Trustworthiness is definitely the initial feeling I get from meeting both of you.
Yeah.
So that makes sense why you guys have developed that within y'all's culture within your company. I like what you said that this isn't a fluke. That's really, really cool because we were talking to Savannah Toll about that. She has a company called Plant Savvy. They do like interior scaping for plants and stuff. She's got a couple commercial contracts. That'd probably be an interesting introduction. There might be some overlap there. Anyways, she was talking about, when we started talking more about business and being a business owner, it was like, what's it called when you like don't think you're worthy of it?
Oh, imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. She was talking about imposter syndrome, and that's kind of like, this isn't a fluke, right? Because for a little bit, you feel like, is this a fluke?
Yeah.
Like, how is this gonna hold up? When is this all gonna fall apart?
Yeah.
And then you get maybe past that, and you're like, okay, fuck, this isn't a fluke.
Yeah.
We're kind of doing this, and people like it. We're doing it right.
Yeah.
And then, getting past that imposter syndrome. So this is a perfect kind of segue into more of the business operation stuff.
Yeah.
So if we think about if somebody in the future is listening to this who owns a small home service business like ours, how did you get past that, like, this is a fluke, or people thinking that it's a fluke, or people thinking like, oh, it's just cute, you're starting a business, right? It's like, how did you get past that?
I think it was when random people started coming up to me and saying, like, I've seen the logo and we know you.
People
like
outside of your network.
Yeah, like I don't know them.
Yeah.
They're like, I saw O'Dwyer Brothers business cards at Brugger's.
Yeah.
Which I do that on purpose, but I'm like,
that's
okay.
Cool. Yeah.
And then for today, actually, this is crazy. It was today. This guy said, he lived behind my mom in 1997, and I had the guys, because it was raining yesterday, I had them do yard signs all over Westmead, Bellevue, Belmead, which they'll take them down quickly.
Yeah.
And then we went somewhere else, and the guys were doing door hangers with it, which is huge, because they see the sign and then they see the door hanger, and then they might have seen it somewhere else, and they're like, "I'm gonna call those guys."
Right.
So they were doing that, and he was like, "I was going to call you guys today." And I got the door hanger, and he was like, and I knew it was like meant to be.
Nice. So he had already heard of you guys and was thinking
Oh,
about
yeah.
y'all, and then the door hanger was like the nail in the coffin. That's interesting because I
There's
think
just like some weird, cool stuff. Not weird, weirdly.
yeah.
But
like
it was
like
like
serendipitous a little bit.
Yeah, it was like there's been a lot of that stuff that's going on lately, and that's kind of when I knew, like,
that's traction.
yeah,
I think.
no, it's good track. I think the thing is when we started doing really big commercial.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, this is
You feel vindicated. You feel like it's valid.
Yeah.
Right? When you get either government contracts or commercial contracts or these big, like you mentioned, big companies. Or, I think another one is when you get repeat residential customers.
Mm-hmm.
Or when they're referring their neighbors.
Yep.
That's a huge one. So what's the best part about owning a business, and what's the worst part about owning a business?
Man, the best part that I'll tell everybody is it's all on you, and you can make it whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all on your time. So depending if you want to work 12, 15 hours, or if you want to work 2 to 3 hours,
you can do it.
You can do whatever you want.
Just know the outcome is going to reflect.
Absolutely. You can go play golf every single day, and you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't owe anybody your time except for your own. But on the flip side, so maybe I wouldn't say the worst, I would say the most challenging of the business owner is if you have employees, you have to pay the guys first, because, which you should never do this, but if you don't pay the guys are going to leave.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have anybody.
Yeah. And
that's the trickiest and most lucrative part of owning your business, is managing other people and managing everything.
Yeah.
It's not just people, it's managing your books, cash coming in and out, paying the guys,
sales.
advertising. Say you're your walking billboard.
Yeah, and
so you have to go in there, and it's not just that. Maybe you have to go to the job. Maybe you have to work the job.
Right.
And then someone forgets something, and you have to go get the yard sign, like I did today for Andrew, and then the pressure washer breaks.
Yeah.
And then you have to think about the next job that they're going to after this, and your mind has to be going like this to be successful.
Yeah, dude.
If you don't want what you want or what I want in the business, which is big.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to think like that.
But
that's how I think.
Yeah. If you want a lifestyle business, meaning you want to do 100,000 in sales, and then maybe you take home 50.
Yeah.
You can absolutely do that and work when you want to work.
Yeah.
And do it right. But if you want to have employees and you want to have multiple locations then that first, especially at the beginning when you're doing the work, then you're the only sales guy, you're doing all the advertising, you're doing all the networking, you're doing all the books, you're running the payroll. Yeah, it's like getting past those years. Yeah. I think is the clutch part, dude.
But it's needed though.
Yeah, it is. You're right. You got to go through that.
And people are like, I'm gonna start this business, and they might have had like some success,
Yeah.
and they're like, man, this is easy, and I think I was there.
Right.
You know, I think I was there the first year.
Right.
You know, because I wasn't scaling, and I wasn't having more obligations and more tasks on my hand. But as you want to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, there's problems.
Yeah.
There's problems everywhere.
Right. Yep.
And to like, you know, make them a little easier. I don't know. I think I've grown definitely a lot because I know that there's always going to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's not the end of the world if I actually look at it from a higher setting. Like,
Right.
someone made like a beautiful analogy. It was like sand in a water bottle. And if you shake, or it doesn't have to be water bottle, but you shake the sand up with the water, it looks so grimy and so gloomy. But then when it settles,
Yeah.
it's not as bad.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly right, dude. And like to further that, I said this the other day too. It was like the highs, super high highs, super low lows as a business owner, especially at the beginning, where you might get, to continue your metaphor, you might get the sand in the water bottle shaken up multiple times a day from different issues, right? It's 10 a.m. and things are going great. It's 11 a.m. and things are shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's 12.
Like today.
And things are great. Right. Yeah, and you might get a call at 1 p.m. today where, you know, Gaylord's like, hey, we want to sign a contract. And you're like, oh, my God, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I thought today was going to be rough.
Right.
It's just like this.
I was literally telling
Ken.
Yeah. I was literally telling Ken that today.
It's ups and downs, dude. And then you're dealing with customers. And
I said I wanted that day to go like that.
Yeah.
But it could also be,
it could go downhill.
Oh my God, what is going on? And you're just holding the reins. You're like, please stop.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
But then once again, there'll be another day.
Yeah, you just gotta, I think the important thing for business owners who are in that seat right now, or ones that are thinking about starting a business, and I don't care if you're freaking 21 or if you're a 50-year-old, 60-year-old who's finishing their corporate career.
Yeah.
This is nothing like a corporate job.
No.
Right? So, like, just because you've been, I mean, and I'll go one step further, dude. A Fortune 100 CEO or a Fortune 500 CEO who is sitting there, who is a badass CEO, getting paid millions of dollars. You put them as a founder of a company, and they're not going to do a good job. They are, and just like you put a founder in that position, they're going to do a horrible job too, right? It is a certain set of skills and a certain mentality of grit, and basically I'm going to kill myself to make this thing work. Yeah. And there is no other option besides making it fucking work.
Right.
And like most people don't have that. And that's okay. Like, right? And thank God, because companies need people to work for the companies as well.
Absolutely.
Otherwise it wouldn't work, right?
Right.
So yeah, dude, the ups and downs is what is extremely frustrating. But I think the important part for future business owners or current business owners, no matter where you're at in your career life, is if you know that that's going to happen, you set your expectations to where every day there's going to be great and horrible news. And if you can handle that and make it an opportunity for your business, no matter if it's good or horrible news, then I think no matter what you do, you're going to be successful. Yeah. Looking at that as the opportunity and not necessarily a death sentence.
Right.
You know, as long as you're not doing things illegally, and the bad news is, you know, you're doing things illegally. Right? You have to have morals and ethics. Right? You have to be doing things right. But even if you're doing everything right, things will go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just dealing with that and moving on and dealing with the next one and moving on.
Yeah.
And dude, it's easier said than done. I struggle with it every day. You know,
yeah.
It's hard. But I think going into business, I had probably had like rose-colored glasses on, and I didn't know that was going to be quite the case. I knew things were going to be hard, but I didn't know it would never stop.
Oh, yeah.
And it never stops. And if you listen to guys who were way, way super successful, they say the same thing. It's just like you said, it's different levels. If your business is doing $100 million, you have big problems and big successes.
Yeah.
If you're doing $1 million, same thing. It's all relative.
Yeah, it is.
It's just like you have a team of 4 here and you have a team of 4,000 here, right? So it's just like you're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
And if you're okay with that and you know that, start your business. But if you don't want that, then I would say don't start a business.
I would also say if you want to start a business, really understand if you want to drive a successful business, you will never have any holiday. You won't have a holiday. You like last year I took my mom and we went to Ireland to visit family, and we went to Germany.
Yeah.
And Switzerland. Okay? You don't think I was thinking about it? And I was 8 hours away.
Yeah.
I was 6 to 8 hours away from home. So not only was it, and I had fun, don't get me wrong, but don't, I still had to answer calls at 12 at night.
Right.
Because it was 2 here.
Right. It's this thing that always lives in the back of your head.
Yeah, it's never going away.
No.
Because it is you.
Right.
In a way.
Yeah, and even when you scale and have people that help you,
yeah,
it's still your responsibility. You're still looking at the bank account.
Yep.
You're still making sure you have what you need. You know, you're still doing the mental math and going, okay, looking at the bank account, I have 12 months, and if we make 0 money, we can survive for 12 months. Or, fuck, we have 2 months, and we got to start getting some sales in. Or, fuck, we have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, you know, that is what truly is the nonstop in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're good there, managing the cat, all that stuff, dude. And like, especially if it's the first time doing it. Half the time you don't know what you're doing.
No, you don't.
And you're just like, I hope this is right. I'm going with my gut here. I think this is right. And, you know, it's kind of sometimes a roll of the dice.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
But that's the fun part.
I mean, that's anything that you want to start.
Yeah.
It's
any
all
business.
a gamble.
Yeah. And, you know, like we said, there's a lot of people who have jobs that they take calls after hours and all that stuff. It's fine. It's just a different level of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Because taking a call from a client, let's say you're in sales, right? Sales folks pretty much work 7 days a week, right? If they have a client they're trying to sell to and they call on a Sunday, you're probably going to answer. But it's there's a different level of concern and stress as the business owner versus one of the employees. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's your house on the line. It's your car on the line. You're the personal guarantor. You're the one that's going to file for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
That is a bigger stress than, oh, I might get fired. I don't care what anybody says. I've had jobs too, right? Having a job is far less stressful.
Oh, yeah.
Because of those reasons, right?
I don't think anyone argues with that because I talk to people about it. But you know the thing that people say though is that they say, John, you're gonna burn yourself to death, and you're gonna work yourself too much, and you can have balance, and you can have this and that, and you can still be successful. I don't believe in that.
Yeah,
That's not how it's gonna get done. 10 to 15 to 20 years is when that could maybe be a situation.
Yeah.
But not when you're getting it off the ground. That's not happening.
I tend to agree.
That's never you can turn your phone off for an hour or two at 7 or 8 at night.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's not how it's going to work.
It's almost
to be successful.
For me, it's like a small addiction. I don't have an addictive personality to anything else. Like I've never smoked cigarettes. I've never done any of that shit. I mean, I've smoked them, but I've never been addicted to smoking cigarettes. You know, I have a cigarette from drinking beers, but I've never been a smoker or a dipper, or, you know. But the closest thing I've ever been addicted to is like my business. It literally is like a drug.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And like trying to grow it, trying to make it successful, dealing with the problems, thinking about it nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
It does get exhausting. So it is important to find and I'm the same way. It's like, even if maybe your balance, your outlet is like, okay, on Sundays I go and fish, whatever it is. That could be a 2-hour thing.
Right.
If that's your thing that gets you back on Monday, then that's what it is, right?
Well, I play golf.
Yeah.
And but
You still got your phone
No,
on you.
I still. I'm not saying like. I really do look at like I'll hear it in my AirPod. You have a message from Google,
Yeah.
or you have a email,
Oh, big time.
and then and it just comes in all day. You
Yeah.
have email Google. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay.
Dude,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. But sometimes, you take the clients out, we'll go like ski shooting, or, that's, see, and that's the rewarding part,
Yeah.
Like, it's like you get off at 2 and you're taking a client out that
Yeah.
you want to
Do
further
business
your
with?
business with or to do business with. And, you know, you get to do that.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't. And I used to feel bad, I was like, I'm not working, I was like, wait. And it was this winter when I was like, nah, fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
I deserve, like, anything that is put on my plate. Those guys, or my guys that are working, like, I did that for years.
Yeah.
And they get to go home and they don't have to think about it.
Right.
But I do.
Yes. Dude, it's like,
I didn't go to the bathroom real fast.
yeah, we can wrap this up too if we want to. Where are we at?
You're at 53 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Before you go to the bathroom, let's do one final thing. Just like look in the camera, say, hey, my name is.